They said it wasn't humanly possible. But now you can have all the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand. Introducing Game Boy. It's portable, it's in stereo, and its games are interchangeable. Plus, Game Boy comes with the outrageous new game, Tetris. And for head-to-head competition, use the revolutionary video link and blow your opponent away. Game Boy, only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, portable power.
The story of the Game Boy starts in the mid-1980s. Gunpei Yokoi held a meeting with Nintendo's president, Hiroshi Yamauchi, about developing a portable game system with interchangeable cartridges, somewhat like the Milton Bradley Microvision years earlier. However, they would implement a newer screen LCD technology called dot matrix. With the popularity of the Game & Watch and its portable design and the success of the Famicom and NES, Yamauchi was not hesitant to give the go-ahead to start development. Yokoi and Nintendo's R&D 1 team, led by Satoru Okada, started development of the new system called the dot matrix game. Because a joystick would be unpractical on the system, Yokoi wanted to use the D-pad he created on the Game & Watch. Since the NES controller was so popular, they made the controller design almost identical to the NES with the D-pad, A, B, start, and select buttons. Also, the system had to be small enough to fit in one's pocket. Unlike the Microvision, Nintendo wanted the CPU to be in the system and not on the individual cartridges. For the CPU, Nintendo worked with Sharp to create a custom chip that was a hybrid between the Intel 8080 and the Zilog Z80 CPU. The screen would be a 2.6-inch LCD dot matrix display with a 160 by 144 pixel resolution. During the design phase, Shigetsu Ito saw the prototype and named it the Game Boy. The name stuck, but the dot matrix game name still appeared on the Game Boy as a model number, DMG01. However, not everything was great. Employees within Nintendo didn't like the Game Boy and thought it wouldn't be successful. They even deemed it the Dame game, which Dame means helpless or useless in Japanese. Despite this, development continued on. In 1987, Nintendo had shown the prototype to several trade shows. Interest grew in the product. Gunpei Yokoi wanted the system to have a great game library. With the popularity of Super Mario Bros. On the NES, they knew the system needed a Mario game for it. Gunpei Yokoi and Sudaru Yokata developed Super Mario Land. It was intended to be the pack-in game with the system worldwide. However, interest in the Russian game Tetris in North America was peaking in popularity at the time, and Nintendo saw this as an opportunity. Hank Rogers bought the rights to the game and worked with Nintendo to port it over to the Game Boy. Tetris was the pack-in game for the system in every region except Japan. Nintendo spent over $10 million marketing the Game Boy before launch. The Game Boy was released in Japan in April of 1989 with the pack-in game Super Mario Land. Then it was released in North America in July and Europe in September of 1990, with Tetris being the pack-in game. The system was wildly successful. In Japan, Nintendo sold out of the entire inventory by March and had to produce more. The system was just as popular around the globe, selling millions of units within the first year. 6 games were available at launch: Alleyway, Baseball, Super Mario Land, Tennis, Tetris, and Yakuman. With sales of the console soaring, so did the number of game titles. By 1990, Nintendo had competition with NEC, Sega, and Atari with the PC Engine Express, Turbo GT, Game Gear, and Lynx. But the Game Boy turned out to be the clear winner in this competition. Although it was not as advanced as the others without a color backlit screen, the fact that it had a 14-hour battery life and a lower price made it the leader of the portable game systems of the time. Nintendo was always thinking ahead and started to think of new ways to market and make the Game Boy better. The first revision of the Game Boy came in 1995 with the Play It Loud Game Boy. These were special edition Game Boys with different color cases that came in red, green, black, yellow, blue, and a clear case. In 1996, Nintendo released the Game Boy Pocket. a smaller cost-reduced version of the original DMG Game Boy. It took 2 AAA batteries instead of 4 AA's the original Game Boy took. The screen was changed to a slightly larger 2.56-inch FSTN LCD, which made the screen truly black and white and not the green color the OG Game Boy was, but still was not backlit. Also, the power jack and the link port shrunk in size. In 1997, the Pocket introduced different color cases. By 1998, Nintendo released the Game Boy Color. It had a 2.32-inch color LCD display that was still not backlit. It had its own games that were made in color and was backward compatible to the original Game Boy games as well. Also in 1998, they released the Game Boy Light in Japan. This was a little larger than the Game Boy Pocket, but boasted for the first time an electroluminescent backlit screen. It used 2 AA batteries and was available in 2 colors, gold and silver. In 2001, Nintendo released the advanced version of the Game Boy that would be backward compatible with all previous games and have its own new library of games as well. This system was the Game Boy Advance. Through its life cycle, it had its own revisions, such as the Game Boy Advance SP and Game Boy Advance Micro. The original Game Boy architecture was finally discontinued in 2003, being launched in 1989, giving the system an amazing 14-year run, and selling more than 118 million units, making it one of the most successful game consoles ever, either in home or portable.
Honey, where's Andrew?
He's playing Nintendo. You'd better unplug the system.
There you are, Andrew. Come on, let's go. It's time to go.
wait, I'm about to work.
It's time to go. Lots of sleep. We gotta go, buddy. Come on, come on.
Dad, come on.
Come on.
Dad.
Champa's waiting for us. Everybody's waiting. Come on, let's go. The bus is going. Come on, come on. We gotta go.
The secret to Nintendo's success lies in bringing arcade game quality into the home. Taking it out of the home is another story.
You can take it to the lake. You can take it on a date. You can take it to a boring picture show. Ha! You can take it to the game. Ow! You can take it on a plane. You can take it anywhere you want to go.
Go with the power of the NES, right in the palm of your hand. Game Boy, the state-of-the-art compact video game system for portable handheld video action. Completely self-contained, Game Boy features patented Nintendo controls, a cross-key joystick, AV start and select buttons, screen contrast, and volume control. Powerful CPU and microprocessors allow complex scrolling backgrounds, hundreds of images, and exciting play. Digital stereo sound with personal earphones, battery, power indicator, Tetris game pack, and exciting video link cable. The video link cable allows simultaneous multiple player head-to-head competition with Tetris and other video link game packs. Accessories include an AC adapter rechargeable power bank and a carrier case. And the beauty of the system is that once you own Game Boy, you can change games as often as you like, simply by replacing the game cartridge. All this in a package that goes everywhere. And you can count on seeing Game Boy everywhere you look. Our multifaceted $15 million marketing support plan assures that in the second half of 1989, everybody who knows about Nintendo will know about Game Boy. That's nearly 19 million NES owners waiting to get their hands on this electronic marvel. They'll see it via an independent television campaign for hardware and software. They'll read about it in Nintendo Power magazine. They'll hear about it via Nintendo's player support program, including game counselor lines with over 100,000 calls per week. And they'll discover Game Boy themselves at World of Nintendo, where they'll find state-of-the-art in-store support with a full array of merchandising displays and fixtures. A wave of excitement is building up behind Game Boy. Climb on board and you won't miss the ride to the next generation of video play. Here today is Game Boy from Nintendo.
Game over, man. It's game over.